But like before we get started though, I gotta show you all this. So y'all remember the pentathlon that I was telling you all about? Where it's like you gotta fence every single opponent, and then you gotta go for a 200-meter swim. Then you have to ride a horse, but you don't get to ride your own horse. You have to ride someone else's country's horse. And then there's cross-country running, and then you have to do like 5 bullseyes and then continue and run. Okay, remember how I brought up what happens if you get a horse that doesn't listen? Okay, so like this quote actually did come up. They drew a horse, and the person who was in first place got a horse that would not obey her. And she was like, had the goal. This horse refused to jump. And just, like, she went automatically down to last place. Now, this is tragic, but I want to show you all this horse. Because this is a horse.
Oh, my gosh.
That would not jump. And this looks like a horse that just would not jump.
Yeah, for anybody, probably.
Oh, my gosh.
It's just like... No, that's not happening. Like, here's a picture of her on the horse. Like, obviously devastated.
That horse looks crazy.
This horse looks crazy. Who picked this horse?
She does look... You can't get any more devastated than that right there.
That horse is bug-eyed. It's grinning. It knew what it was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm about to sabotage this for this girl.
Like, if you ever... It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, I asked and I received.
You did receive.
Anyway, I bring that up because we were talking about it last week. But anyway, welcome to Punch the Clock. But welcome to Punch the Clock, the only podcast that is recorded during our lunch break, and the only podcast that features our coworkers as guests. I'm your host, Marshall.
And I am Justin.
And today we're joined by our guest, Eric.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me, guys.
So, Eric, the first question we have to ask all our guests now. On a scale of 1 to 7, how good of coworkers are me and Justin?
I've thought about this already.
Well, that's good.
I've thought about it hard. And I'm going to give you both 6s.
6s?
Wow.
Okay.
This is a punch the clock first.
This is the lowest score we've gotten.
Really? Well, okay. Well, the only reason I took a point off was because we have some people in the office that like to give out little goodie bags during Valentine's Day, during those kinds of things. And I've never gotten any goodie bags from you guys. So that's the only reason.
To be fair, yeah.
There's one person in the office that does that.
Only one.
And that's the bar.
I'm just not going to go to the Dollar General to buy you anything. Especially not that I got 6 out of 7. I mean,
Well, then.
I mean, that's a fair yardstick, right? Because
pretty fair.
If that individual is really knocking it out of the park, yeah, they absolutely deserve a 7.
Yeah,
they spend all that time, effort, and energy, right?
she's killing it. So
Killing it.
let's just make this whole podcast about reviewing her as a coworker. Amazing.
7.
If we were doing the performance review for her right now, that'd be great for her.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, Eric, it keeps us humble. At a
keeps
6. A humble 6. I like it.
I got to keep you on your toes a little bit.
Yeah.
After episode 1, I was getting a big head. You know, I have a successful podcast now that has reached 1 listener, which is you,
Yes.
our only listener.
I didn't think that was true.
Oh, you are canonically our only listener.
Okay, well, happy to be the only listener.
So first off, how did we do?
I enjoyed it. I was laughing quite a bit. I thought the part about the chess boxing was probably my favorite.
Chess boxing? Can't beat chess boxing.
Agreed.
So, like, on a scale of 1 to 13, how would you rate our podcast? I only respect prime numbers, if that's not clear. There will never be a 1 to 5 scale on this podcast, and I refuse to do a 1 to 10. It's either 1 to 7 or 1 to 13.
Well, like I said, I got to keep you guys on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you're going to make some improvements. A 10.
That
That sounds pretty good,
Wow.
too.
That
doesn't
sounds
it?
good.
That sounds amazing.
We could do the math.
Yeah.
We're not going to. Clearly.
I mean, 10 is closer than 9 to 13.
Is that what you got? Oh, well, you couldn't.
I am feeling a little disrespected that you didn't pick a prime number after I told you I only respect prime numbers. As a reviewer, me reviewing you as a reviewer, I'm going to have to give you a 7 out of 13 for this review of our podcast.
All right.
Just do better.
I'll try. I will.
All
Good
right.
night.
Red leather, yellow leather. I heard that's a very common way to
I feel
warm up
like you're supposed to
enunciation.
do this before
Red
we start recording, though.
We're just trying to find a silent opportunity to jump in there and do that.
Just
so.
wanted to jump in. Well, okay.
Now, brown cow.
How now, brown cow? Just that's what the whole podcast is going to be about now. Just us enunciating. Is it too late to switch genres? Maybe we should just switch genres every week. This week's like the pronunciation podcast.
And we just enunciate everything.
Speaking of which, I have to bring this up because I made my fiance listen to us. She didn't rate us as highly.
Out of 10?
Out of 13?
Like out of 13, she did not rate us very high. She's like, well, audio, but that's normal. But the reason being is apparently it's not when Andrew was eating his hummus. It's not pronounced crudité. We really butchered it, and that just threw her off so much. She rated us.
How's it pronounced?
I don't know. I forgot how she said to pronounce it. But I wanted to be clear that we don't respect the pronunciation of crudité on this podcast.
6 points, huh, for the pronunciation.
Yeah, I mean,
We might have to start incorporating a fact check at the end to
Yeah.
go through some.
check this podcast, but let's not.
Let's
That's a
not.
good
Let's
idea.
just roll with
That's a
it.
good
What
idea.
if we just put a disclaimer that says we don't even know if the things we say are true? Would that just cover us?
Just
From the get-go, like, hey, this is probably not accurate.
Just believe it.
it's just for entertainment value purposes.
Purely entertainment.
Yeah.
But speaking of listeners, we actually got our first listener email that I'm going to pull up in a
We
second.
got an email at clocks with an S at gmail.com.
So if you want to send us an email and have us answer on the show, we're more than happy to. And Eric, you're going to have to answer this question too.
Alright.
Why? Oh my God, I hate Gmail. Why did I pick the least professional email service to make our podcast go through?
It sounds like
Revision.
we need an email provider as a sponsor.
Yeah, we could use a sponsor. Hey, if anybody wants to sponsor this, for some reason you think these guys are what I want to represent my product, maybe reevaluate your choices, but also feel free to send us an email to that box too.
We will gladly consider.
Consider we'll just do it. If you pay us, we'll do things. But anyway, this email, the subject was called The Smuggle Job. And it starts like this. Hi, Justin and Marshall. I enjoyed the show, but y'all need a better mic. Anyway, during the pandemic, like many people, I worked from home, which allowed me to spend a lot of time with my 2 pet rats. Sadly, one has passed away about a month ago, leaving the younger brother of the 2 all alone with only me for company. Now for my problem. I have recently been told I must return to the office. This wouldn't normally be a problem, but rats can die from loneliness. Our office has a strict no-pet policy, and I've tried explaining the situation to no avail. I cannot work from home, and they will not let me flex my time. So here's my question. How can I smuggle my pet rat into the office and not get caught? Sincerely, Rat Obsessed in RVA.
Well,
All right, guys, so how are we going to smuggle this rat into this office?
Well, I wish that I had a bottle of champagne right now to celebrate our first official email communication. And
that wasn't
we-
Google.
what's that?
Well, Google sent us stuff, but I don't count them.
Oh, well, first official live person email.
Yes, thank you, Rat Obsessed in RVA.
So how do we smuggle this in? I mean,
So I own rats. I know they're primarily nocturnal. So hopefully we can assume this rat sleeps the majority of the day.
mhm.
But if it wakes up, it's going to make noise. So we got to take into account for the noise factor.
What kind of noise?
Like, basic scratching, skittering.
Okay.
Sometimes they scream.
Louder than normal office banter?
It might be a little bit louder. Like if it's a quiet office.
What
Like
do you
first
mean?
off, listener, not to get angry at you, but we need more info.
Yeah.
Is your office quiet? Is it loud?
Do you work at a cheese factory?
Do you work at a cheese factory? Are you in a kitchen? I'm assuming it's an office because we did say office related.
Yeah, working from home. Yeah.
Is there a way to ratatouille the situation? Like you wear a cap to the office and the rat does the work for you? Put the rat to work?
If you're a chef, possibly.
I think that this would probably be the best way to do it, is that you get a box with a wheel inside that's connected to a phone charger, and the rat just runs the wheel all day long and just charges your phone. So it's constantly busy, and it constantly has something to do, and your phone gets charged at the same time while you're continuing to listen on Spotify to Punch the Clocks. There we go.
I'm not going to lie,
Solution.
Justin. I think you're thinking about a hamster.
I think you are thinking about a
Rats
hamster.
don't run on wheels.
I mean, I guess they could, but I've never seen mine ever do that.
I mean,
Also, there would be a noise factor that we haven't established if that's going to be an issue. So let's assume it's an issue, though.
yeah.
Let's just assume it's not a loud office.
Hmm.
I do like the idea of putting that rat to work.
Okay.
Is there a way we can get this rat employed? Get him full benefits, medical,
I mean,
dental.
can you fill out an I-9 for a rat?
I feel like you can fill out an I-9
Yeah,
for a rat.
yeah.
I mean, I know you can write off your guard dogs as a business expense.
Interesting.
So can we write this rat off? Make it beneficial for the business to bring this rat in.
I mean, does the office have an office cat? Because that would present some danger to the rat.
That would be a rat problem.
Never seen one around.
Well,
So.
they did say it was a no pet policy.
Oh, no pets, so there's no other pets. Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're assuming
That's
you're
right.
going to get in trouble by bringing this rat in there.
Okay.
They didn't specify wild animals though.
They didn't say wild
No
animals.
wild animal policy.
Now we could just say that just release the rat into the business each day.
Mm-hmm.
Let it run around, and then volunteer to go capture the rat and just pretend it's a very elusive rat.
Mm-hmm.
And then take it home with you every day.
You can put it in a cage and keep it outside, like outside the office building.
Assuming
it
that
there,
it's
too.
not like too hot, I guess.
That's true. That's true.
Eric?
I don't use my file folder.
You think a file folder? Just
Well,
put
not
it
the
in
file
there?
folder, but my file cabinet.
Mhm.
Inside.
I don't have anything in there.
We
The only
put-
thing is my boss works right behind me, so he'll probably see my rat in my file cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
But
But if we could open up that file cabinet, put some bedding, some chips in there,
no scratching. You know,
no scratching,
right.
we're gonna. Oh, that's a good idea.
Give it like a little padded room, but
There you
in a
go.
drawer. Yeah, yeah.
What if we put it in like a paper box? Fill that thing up, and then anytime someone asks about the scratching, you'd be like, "No, that's just my foot grazing this paper box here. Listen to this." That way, people will just be like, "Why does he keep scratching that box?" Marshall, can you stop? And you just hear more. Be like, "Nope, sorry, I have restless leg." You have to pretend you have restless leg. I'm sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, no one likes Marshall anymore at the office because he's constantly scratching his leg all the time.
He's constantly scratching that box. Is he part cat or something? I'm sorry, guys. I have Tourette's. I don't know.
I've never had a pet rat. I've never had a hamster. Have you guys had any of that?
No.
My girlfriend had some pet rats. They're pretty cool animals. They are super friendly though, so that might be an issue.
They want to be social.
They're
social
very
animals.
social.
Mm,
You can train them like dogs. They'll do tricks and stuff. It's kind of cool.
interesting. Yeah, I think if it were me, I would probably just get another rat to keep with it, and problem solved. You're able to keep it at home. It's won't die of loneliness.
Justin, he's not ready for a new rat.
He's got to get over the
rat
rat.
lover might not be ready to move on,
He's
Justin.
not ready yet, Justin.
They're not ready, Justin. We didn't want a sensical answer, Justin. They didn't ask us, should I get another rat?
They
They
just want to pet the rat.
They asked us, how are we smuggling the rat? We answered the question at hand here.
I mean,
I feel like the box and filing cabinet would be a good go, though.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Or, like Justin said, we employ this rat.
could employ the rat.
We could employ the rat.
The only thing is, you'd have to clean up after the rat, and I don't know how many people are going to see you just doing something at your desk. I don't know what they're going to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Hey, why do you keep litter in your desk for some reason? Emergencies? If it snows, how am I going to get traction?
Why do
So-
you keep putting crumbs in your filing cabinet? Is that something that you do?
I'm just saving it for later.
So what if so let's play out this scenario, right? Imagine if you work with someone like Angela Martin from The Office.
Okay.
So for the listener, what I'm trying to depict is a cat lady who, if you recall from that episode of The Office where Angela was licking herself clean, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what if you have someone like Angela in the office who's a cat lady, just, Sprinkles and all these other cats are in her world, and she has a sixth sense for rats.
Now, if I remember correctly, Angela actually smuggled cats into the office quite often.
She did. She
So,
did.
is
She
there
did.
maybe there's a way we can learn from this Angela?
ceiling tiles.
Ceiling tile rat.
But then you'd hear them running.
Then
all
we,
day long.
yeah. Well, that goes back to my
Into
idea
it.
of releasing the rat into the workplace and just saying
Yeah.
we have a rat problem.
Mm-hmm.
Which you'd be kind of screwed if they actually hire an exterminator.
But to Eric's point, Angela did, if I recall, keep her cat in one of her drawers. So there we go. There we go.
I think drawers
Proof
might.
of concept.
Yeah, I think
Proof
Eric.
of concept. I think
You
nailed
were.
it.
I think Eric nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Boom.
Boom. We
Nailed it.
I think we wrapped this up.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Insert sound effect for nailed it.
I don't know if we have that sound effect, but that's future Marshall's problem when he edits his podcast. Look, like current Marshall and past Marshall, they're dumb.
So
Pretty dumb, but future Marshall, that guy's got things figured out.
So I feel like I heard this somewhere recently, but is future Marshall like 1 second from now when you refer to future Marshall? Or is
91.
present Marshall kind of like within this realm of,
President Marshall is in the here and now, my man. It's a
but then
constant state of being.
he's future Marshall
He's also future Marshall.
1 second ahead of time.
Man, I did not expect us to bring up Schrodinger's Marshall this quickly on this podcast.
I heard that recently and I was like, wow, that's actually quite brilliant. I never thought of things like that.
Yeah, because like I'm always in the present, but I'm also in the future.
Yeah.
Look, I think we need to institute a new rule on this podcast. No trying to educate anybody.
All right. Education's out the window.
If you come away from this podcast and you've learned something, we've done our job wrong.
Stephen Hawking, if you're listening, you can be our next guest, and you can help us out with this past-present thing.
Exactly.
Stephen Hawking's dead, though. So we're going to have to get a Ouija board.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Ouija.
Whoa.
Ouija board. Okay, so next episode we're going to get the ghost of Stephen Hawking's on this podcast.
Okay. Maybe
Now-
he's with us presently.
Yeah, maybe he is with. I like to believe Stephen Hawking's is always
Yeah.
watching over us.
He's in a universe somewhere, far, far away.
Or in a black hole. Wasn't he all about black holes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What in the world, like I know it's not possible, but if you could, would you jump into the black hole? Like, if this was like a theme park ride, right, where you just went through the black hole and we could reset time and bring you back afterwards, would you try to experience that black hole? So I'm assuming it's painful.
But it's not so a black hole, isn't it just a burnt up star,
Or an exploded star or something.
right?
I
It
think it's exploded.
exploded.
And
But
then
it's not really a hole though, is it?
Well, I thought it's like a hole in the space-time continuum because like things cease to exist and also exist too much, and there's so much gravity
Uh-huh.
that
In the black
bends
hole.
light. So anyway,
Hmm.
you know, like Interstellar, I think the movie with Matthew McConaughey, where we're supposed to believe that Matthew McConaughey is like a astrophysicist.
Uh-huh.
He just dives headfirst into it. Would you do that?
If there was a reset button, yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah, there's a reset button. I would.
For me, it depends on how close to death I already am. If I'm like 85 and you're like jumping in this black hole, I'm like, I might only have like 6 months left anyway. Might as well try to do the black hole.
I'm terminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm terminal.
Swan dive.
Swan. Full send right into the black hole.
New Olympic sport: black hole dive.
And look at that, no splash whatsoever on that black hole
A
dive.
perfect.
No. Well,
10.
would you mark it by the splash or no more registry in the space-time continuum? He has completely annihilated
He's
himself.
just gone from the universe.
He will not be able to do that again.
Oh, man.
God, that's great.
That's good stuff. So that brings up a good point about the Olympics. So, a lot of things are based in 10. Would you change that in the Olympics?
We've already established it would be purely out of 1 to 7 or 1 to 13
Yeah.
scale for me.
Yeah.
If I could just change the Olympics. 1, I make it less boring, as we said before.
We're
2,
just changing it all.
I'm changing this grading scale. You got to change the grading scale. And 3, add more cowbell.
More cowbell?
More
is
cowbell.
always good.
Always got to have more cowbell. But anyway, let's do a little sponsor ad break right now. Today, this episode is brought to you by the Direction Left. We know you have many choices and directions: up, right, down, even diagonal. But we thank you for choosing Direction Left. Left, never turn right again. And now back to the show.
And remember, you can also take a right by taking left, so it's perfect.
3 lefts will get you the same place.
Exactly.
Or maybe 2. I don't know.
I love that sponsor.
But that's going to bring me to to our longest running segment on this show, and really kind of our only running segment on the show, and that's Debate Me Coward. So anyway, guys, as y'all know, and listener, you don't know this, but we do. We got a shuffleboard table in our office, which is, if you've never played shuffleboard table, it's kind of like miniature version of shuffleboard, but on a table that you slide with your hands instead of one of those pucks. And it's pretty fun. They have them in bars all over the place. But essentially, and we all agree though, right, that we're going to go play this like tomorrow.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like, it's just so much fun. So, you know what? Turn off this podcast and go play. Go find the place. Find a place with tabletop shuffleboard. Turn us off and go play. And then come back. We'll be waiting. But anyway, my question for you two today for us to debate. They got the shuffleboard table. What can we convince our company to get next for us to play with? Now, I won last time, so I'm going to go first. Because I feel like that's fair.
Okay,
I feel like
fair
that's
enough.
fair. And, I forgot for the rules for this segment of Debate Me Coward. As you all remember, don't vote for yourself. It's a gentleman's agreement. You have to vote for someone else. And yeah, that's about it. You can interrupt at any point in time. Y'all can ask questions, so that's fine. So for me, what I think we should get for our company is a horseshoe air hockey table.
I didn't catch that second word.
Air hockey.
Horseshoe air hockey
A
table.
horseshoe.
All right, so I'm going to have to explain.
Air hockey.
So you know how a normal air hockey table is like a straight back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Horseshoe air hockey table looks like a horseshoe. It's bent around. So there's no aiming straight. You have to bank it no matter what.
Okay.
Which makes it so much better because you don't get that 12-year-old kid who just goes whoosh, straight, fast, as hard as he can.
I'm not going to lie. I think I've seen something like that before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have them like...
Oh, okay.
There's a place here in Richmond that has one. That's where I got the idea from. But you have to bank it off and you have to do all these angles. So you got to do all these crazy angles. You're next to each other. It's so much fun. Now, here's the only problem is it is loud.
That's okay. It's the
True.
break room.
It's the break room, though.
Yeah.
So I
People
think
are
we
in
can get
their
away with
break.
So I think a horseshoe air hockey table, if we can just get like 7 of those.
7.
7
Wow.
of them.
7 horseshoe
Dude, it's
air
going to be
hockey tables.
popular.
That's 14 people playing. at
That's
a time.
14.
And for the listener, there we go with another prime number.
Only prime numbers. And that brings us to Justin's segment, Prime Number Watch.
That's a part of I guess the fact check part that we'll try to incorporate. Actually, that's a great idea. We're evolving as we go here, so I think as these prime numbers come up, my job will be to try and identify them and point them out.
I'm just going to have to like come up with harder and harder prime numbers. One day you hear me list off like a number in the millions. It's like, was that a prime number? It was. Oh my God.
I think we should have 1,675,000 of those tables.
Well, that's
Whoa,
not
prime number one.
Prime.
Prime number watch. But yes, I've played it before with my fiance. It's so much fun. You bounce it back and forth. It ricochets. I think it'd be an amazing addition to the office. So long as they didn't rip it out here for being too loud. So I will concede that it might be a little too loud for the office.
So I'm about to debate you.
Okay.
How many times do you think that puck is going to fly off the table and possibly nail someone right in the eye?
I mean, it's going to hit someone, and it's probably going to ruin someone's lunch. Like, you just nail it too hard, and it flies off into some woman's salad or some man's salad.
Yeah.
Or just right into your Chipotle.
But how many
I'm a little worried
times?
about
How
that.
many
How many
times?
times? Oh, my God. How many times? Probably 17.
Prime.
What?
Prime number watch.
You know what? You know what would be amazing if you on your next prime number that there would be an Amazon Prime delivery at the door. That would be pretty incredible.
There'd be a prime.
A prime
Watch.
Oh,
So
What-
many
what-
primes. That's prime squared.
What is prime squared?
I have no idea.
Depends on what prime number, I guess.
Yeah, honestly. If it's 5, it's 25. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be my vote now. I am open for questions and debates.
My biggest thing is it's the injury concern, I think, of other people around you.
Well, that's just a risk you take in horseshoe air hockey. As you know, it's a contact sport.
Or we're about to make it one if it's not already.
We're making it a contact sport. Why not?
So are the players basically standing effectively next to each other?
Yeah, you stand next to each other. It's like a horseshoe, and it's got like straight angles, so the thing bounces in angles, and it's wacky angles, but it's really fun. And you have to hit it harder,
to get it.
which
Okay.
does kind of feed into Eric's point of it maybe being dangerous, but that's just the risk you take with contact sport,
Mhm.
horseshoe air hockey.
Yeah. We could put up some plexiglass on the far end.
That would defeat the real spirit of the game. If there's not an element of danger, is it really worth it?
I automatically just thought of like the boards on a hockey rink.
That's right. Yeah. So there's like, you can like bank it off the glass. And
You show up to work and you're in a full hockey uniform.
You're just checking people
Just
into
body
the
checking
boards,
people.
like trying to. I'm next.
Oh no! I nailed him into his Chipotle over there. Just yell at someone from behind and be like, "Sorry, we're playing the
Stay behind the boards next time.
They should not have bought this for us."
And you know what the crazy part is that, we've had this shuffleboard here for maybe 48 hours, and I don't know about you guys, but I haven't heard really anyone in there playing it.
I'm a little far from the room, so I don't know if
Yeah.
I hear him anyway. But
I will admit, every time I go get some water or something from the break room,
Uh-huh.
I do slide one of those pucks down it.
Just a solo game.
I throw all 4 of them down just to see how good I do.
Just
I'm not.
calibrating your arm.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not doing well.
So funny story. I did the same thing that you were doing this morning. I was just
Right.
by myself. There was no one there.
Uh-huh.
I'm sliding, and all of a sudden somebody walked in, and I had to be like, "Yeah, I'm playing by myself right now." And
This
it's
is the
embarrassing. I'm
thing.
sorry.
It's
So would you say that from a shuffleboard standpoint, you are better with your arm and a puck or a tang and a biscuit?
I feel like I'm awful at both because I have played regular shuffleboard. Like, I hate to say it, but this is not the body of a professional shuffle player. Maybe when I hit my 70s, if I'm so lucky in my 70s, I might have it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I feel like the body of a shuffleboard player is like a 78-year-old in a nursing home.
With white sneakers.
Yes, so for sure.
I've taken my grandfather to play at the local place near us. It's a bar because we have a bar that has shuffleboard in it. Because why not? It's
Tang and biscuit.
Tang and Biscuit. If shout out to Tang and Biscuit. Congrats, that's a free sponsor.
Shout out, yep, local sponsors.
Pay us or give us a free game or something. I don't know. They're probably on there like, we don't want to be on the episode. Please bleep us out. Like, why would you think we'd want this sponsor? But no, that's pretty fun. But I took my grandfather. He had a good time.
Did he beat you?
Yeah, he was much better at me, and he apparently has never really played before, and I'm starting not to believe him.
Well, yeah, he's like in the 70s, right?
No, he's like in the 90s.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah. He's been playing for 20 years.
He's in his shuffleboard.
He's in his
prime.
prime.
He's been playing.
I am not decrepit enough to be good at shuffleboard.
That's what I think it was. I think he's just getting you to age a little bit more.
I'm just, listener, you can't see me, but I just want you to know I am the peak of male perfection, just an absolute beautiful specimen. The fact that Justin is laughing just should show you how beautiful I am.
No judgment.
After he laughed, no judgment. But no, I will concede the rest of my time. Who would like to go next?
All right, so let's see. So horseshoe air hockey, specifically 7 prime.
It doesn't have to be
Horseshoe
7.
air
It can be
hockeys.
1. 1's a prime number.
So, wow, this is gonna be a hard one because I love air hockey. I've been playing since I was 4. Had a variety of air hockey tables growing up. Would love playing air hockey at arcades. Do you guys ever play the one that's like an octagon at like a Dave and Buster's?
No, what is that?
It's, or maybe it's just a square. There's maybe 4 people, but that's pretty cool. So you can get a 4-way air hockey going.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's pretty neat. But yeah, I think that could be pretty loud.
What other shapes can we make air hockey into?
What if we do a double horseshoe? Then we have the 4-way like you said.
And just around
Guys,
and around.
this is supposed to be like a debate topic, but we're really stuck on the air hockey.
So ping pong. I mean, I think that if we're rating some of these based on noise, then ping pong, that can get pretty loud
Real
and,
loud.
and intense.
I'd spike it.
Foosball is always a good classic.
Foosball.
Foosball is always a good classic.
Cool.
That can also get pretty loud, but I think that I think that's pretty controllable.
The hockey foosball or the soccer
Are you?
foosball?
Which one are you going with?
Ooh.
Because I'm a big fan of the hockey one.
Oh wow.
Is that your choice?
That's
Is
a whole nother.
is the hockey foosball?
No. I'm just kind of thinking here.
So you're just listening like a
I-
couple out
I
here and
honestly-
hoping we'll pick up on something.
I think that. So this is where I'm going with it. I'm going Tetris.
Tetris.
I'm going arcade Tetris.
Oh, I didn't even think about
I'm going
arcades.
arcade
I'm
Tetris.
not even gonna lie, I love that.
I do
I'm
love
a
some
big
Tetris.
guy.
Yeah. I'm going
What?
arcade Tetris.
All right, now are we blaring the volume on the Tetris, or are we just keeping it at a manageable level?
I think that we're going to upgrade to the option that you can put headphones in. So,
Oh,
if
okay.
there's an opportunity, you could, or it connects to Bluetooth.
Because I want that Russian music.
I do. You need it. It gets you going, especially when it starts picking up on like level 10.
Oh, God,
you need that
so
music.
good.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be like one of the solo player Tetrises, or is it like a battle Tetris?
I think you got to incorporate battle just from
Battle would be
camaraderie's
fun.
sake. I think that would be pretty cool.
That's team
Yeah.
building.
Exactly.
Team building Tetris.
If
and
there was
shuffleboard.
or alternatively, you get a 4-pod of a racing game. So you have 4 of them, and just in terms of camaraderie and team building, you can just have a race on a quick break, and I think that'd be pretty fun. Yeah, but anyway, my official submission to this debate
It's Tetris.
is 2-person Tetris.
That's going to be pretty hard to beat. Now, how can we pick this apart? We need to. If we have any chance of winning, we really got to pick this Tetris idea apart. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of on board.
Well, I haven't even gone yet.
Yeah.
I'm already discounting your idea. Dude, Tetris.
I know.
You don't get the debate.
I like it too. I'm not gonna lie, I like it too. And now that I think about it, my idea is it. Well, I have a couple, but
Well, hold on.
my favorite,
Why did you pick a game that wasn't patriotic, though?
Made in Russia.
It's made in Russia.
Is it really?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah,
The
during the Cold
original-
War.
Yeah, the original game has like all these Russian. It looks straight out of Moscow.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like the
I'm gonna-
Kremlin.
Buildings and everything.
I'm not legally allowed to say.
Oh, dang it. I always knew you were a Russian spy. I've always known.
I'm just sending information.
Not a very
back.
good one.
I'm like, look, guys, this is how you build a house. And this is how you keep it warm in the tundra. I'm just sending them just...
I feel like the Russians would already
Information,
know
like-
that info, though. They've survived Russian winters before, Justin. If anything, they probably teach us how to do that. All right, Tetris is a hard beat. Now, do you have to pay with quarters, or is it free?
No. I don't think any payment... Because, I guess that's a good question for the air hockey, too. Are we talking having to pay for this? Or
Gotta be free.
It's,
Yeah.
it's gotta
Okay,
be
we'll
free,
assume
yeah.
everything's free.
Free, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've rigged it.
Yeah.
They give you tokens.
And-
What if they just give you a certain amount of tokens? You say, like, you get 2 tokens. That's it.
Because we know any more is more than your lunch break. So
Now,
That'd be a good way to manage it.
Now, the one thing I'd add to that is that I'd like to have some sort of service contract and someone on standby so that if it breaks for some reason, we can call someone up and they're going to come here and fix that. If it breaks down.
I feel like that would come with it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Or, we just get IT on it. Maybe they know how to fix it.
Submit
They-
something to the help
they
desk.
probably enjoy
why
that.
Why are we getting these tickets about the Tetris machine?
I feel like if I worked in IT and I got a ticket for the Tetris machine, that would be the one I'd want to do.
Yeah.
Because that sounds way more fun.
That would be awesome.
No, I gotta test it a couple more times, guys. It's not working.
you only have 2 tokens though. So.
2 tokens to test it and fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna be hard to beat, but so I feel like we can keep debating Tetris, but that's hard to beat. But Eric, why don't you tell us your idea that's not gonna be as good as Tetris?
I'll go for it. I am a big pinball guy.
Oh.
I would
oh.
really like a nice pinball machine in here that
That might be Tetris actually.
mess around. Yeah, it's a fun thing. It's only 1 player, unfortunately, but you could always take turns.
Now here is the real question: what type of pinball machine? Because these say they have a pinball machine for everything. What like media or whatever are we using?
The last one I played on was Mandalorian, and it was great.
That does sound awesome. So a Mandalorian Star Wars pinball machine
Yes.
with the baby Yodas and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And before anybody writes in asking me, being like, Marcia, you know that it's not the baby Yoda, it's Grogu. I know. I'm calling him Baby Yoda. I made my choice.
Baby Yoda.
It's Baby Yoda. He'll always be Baby Yoda. Dude, Baby Yoda pinball machine, though.
Well, that's very close to Mandalorian.
I feel like it is the Mandalorian
They
pinball
have-
machine.
they have
I
pinball
haven't
all over
seen
the
this
place.
pinball machine, but I can guarantee you he's on it.
Yeah.
So are the flippers his ears?
they weren't, but
Oh,
that would be
that's
cool.
a real missed opportunity by that company.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Shout out to the pinball machine company.
Just shout out to pinball machines.
Shout out,
pinball machines in general, great.
Great invention. Built in the 60s
which
or something.
is funny because that is like classic Americana.
Yeah.
And I just learned that Tetris is very Russian, so we're talking like Cold War games right here.
We really are. Americans had the pinball machines and the Russians had Tetris.
So
No
last
telling
week,
which one was better.
So last week we talked about the Olympics, right? And this week we're talking about Cold War, American versus Russia.
We're international.
Unbelievable.
We have really gone down the rabbit hole in this podcast.
Yeah.
Like you would think each episode would get better, but we just get worse, and it goes even more downhill. And I'm sorry, Eric, you as our only listener have to listen to this.
I say that's where we put that rat down that rabbit hole and close that rabbit hole up and be done with it.
We put the rat in the rabbit hole. But no.
All right.
Okay, so the pinball machine's pretty good. Now, was the Mandalorian one pretty noisy? We've already established you only get 2 tokens a day for all these things.
Well, I was in a busy place, so I couldn't really hear it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm assuming the pinball machine would probably have some sort of volume on it, right?
I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Like you turn it down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or it'd even be even funnier, maybe we turn it all the way up.
What
That
kind
way
of
you-
things would they be screaming like when you hit certain things?
It just screams Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Everybody's in the break room like, that wasn't even in the show. They never called him that. Why did they had to program that in there?
Is this a bootleg pinball
Is this-
machine?
did we get a
or-
bootleg pinball machine? Is that why it gives us 7 balls for some reason?
They call that a multi-ball, and you want that.
I guess it's nice. I mean, they only gave me 2 tokens a day, and the air hockey one is full contact for some reason.
I'll tell you right now, you give me 1 token, I got free games for days, all right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going forever.
Just going.
So how cool would it be if there was so let's say we went the pinball route, right? I know we're not in voting yet, but if there was a leaderboard that could be like whether we all get a notification at our desk or there's a leaderboard like, on the TVs around the office and we could see like who's the top, right? So Eric's flipping, getting games for hours, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, high score. And everyone's, screens light up and just create some competition.
Whoever gets the highest score gets a bonus from the company. That it's not encouraging productivity in the least bit. Pretty much the opposite, but it'd be cool.
It would be pretty cool.
But on a more serious matter, now we have the shuffleboard table. We are going to get like a tournament going for our department, right?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we got to do that
yeah.
at some point.
Pricing versus operations.
I'm going to have to bleep that out. Actually, that's probably okay. That can stay in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That's
maybe
pretty
even
generic.
injured department.
That's pretty general.
Credit versus operation.
Everybody
Oh, yeah.
has their own tournament and their own department.
Yes.
And then you send your champion.
Oh.
And then
Oh.
you duke it out for the end.
Like,
Okay.
I'm talking
going on.
ops, credit, finance, payroll,
HR.
HR, the executives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is good. This
This is good.
Yeah, this
I like
is
that.
this is.
All right, we're
evolving.
going to have to come back to that and execute on this.
Yeah, we'll make a bracket.
All right. So do we feel like we have enough info to vote on, guys?
I think so.
I think so.
I know
yeah,
my
yeah.
vote.
All right.
Can I just comment? Like, what a solid set of suggestions. I mean, regardless of who the winner is, even if it's me, humbly, I said, what a solid set of decisions to vote on here.
All right. So the winner of this has to go pitch this to our CEO.
And say all of our ideas are better than the shuffleboard. Even though I like it. Don't get me wrong.
Hey,
Thank
don't
you,
get us
bud.
wrong. We
Yeah.
love it, but this would be better. Did you even consult us?
Do you listen to our podcast?
Do you even listen to our... There's the dream. Our dream is to get our CEO on the podcast. And if we can just get him to fire me live. It'd be horrible for me career-wise, but like as far as audio goes, I'm not going to be able to top that. We just end the podcast at that point.
And it might shoot your podcast career right up. People
But
start hearing
no,
that
no.
you don't need this job anymore.
In all seriousness, please don't. Please, I'm just joking. Seriously,
He's joking. I can tell.
I'm joking.
He's joking.
But no, I feel like we have enough to vote on.
right.
I guess since I went first, and I won last time, I'll vote first, so I can't manipulate the votes.
Do you want me to run the listeners through the selections that are being voted on?
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do a real refresh.
All right, so refresher for the listener before we vote. So Marshall went first, and he suggested 7 tables of horseshoe air hockey. Prime.
Brian.
And then Eric suggested a Mandalorian pinball machine. And I suggested a 2-person Tetris.
And just as a reminder, you can't vote for your own, so
Can't vote for your own.
I'm going to have to put my air hockey... You forgot that it's contact horseshoe air hockey now. It's a contact
Physical
sport.
contact.
Physical sport.
Physical contact.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm almost disappointed in myself because you know what would have been an amazing submission?
What?
Skee ball.
Skee ball would have been great. None of us...
Like a
Can we
four-
all just
a
agree
lineup
that
of
skee
four.
ball was better than everything we picked? Like, why didn't we
Yes,
pick skee
yes.
ball?
Or one of those little basketball things that's always next
Oh,
to
yeah.
skee ball.
Yes,
Always right
yes,
next
yes.
to skee ball, no matter what.
God, we already know that we picked the worst ones. Okay,
Think
well...
about how amazing of a mood you would be in every day if you just heard that music that plays during skee ball or like even the basketball when you put your quarters in and the balls fall through the
Yeah.
slot. It's like,
Well,
that's right. Imagine how awesome that would be.
okay, so we can just establish that we all agree skee ball would have been the best one.
Skee
So
ball,
skee
skee
ball
ball.
is the true winner, but let's
Yeah.
let's go with what we picked.
Okay, all right.
So
Let's vote.
it's between pinball and Tetris for me.
Well, those are the only 2 options.
But yeah, I can't vote for myself. That would be illegal in these arbitrary rules that I have created. I really love pinball though, so I'm going to give it to pinball.
Pinball. Pinball's got 1.
All right, Justin, you went second, so.
All right. Well, this is really, really tough. So
Well, actually, let's give it to our guest. That's rude.
okay.
I'm going to go with the double Tetris because I really like Tetris a
Double
lot.
Tetris. Wow.
I'm a video game guy, so.
So, is it possible that we can have a 3-way tie?
If there's a 3-way tie, yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. Well, let's just say for the listener, I am just glad that I got 1 vote this time. So always be recording, always be improving. And last episode, my suggestions for the Olympic Sport Edition and removal got no votes whatsoever. So I'm just glad to get 1.
All right, so.
But I've got to choose between pinball and horseshoe air hockey.
Contact horseshoe air hockey.
Contact horseshoe air hockey. Like, wow. So we're talking like checking, pushing, shoving.
Oh, 100%. In the break room.
HR reports. We're also talking that.
I don't know, that could escalate pretty quickly.
Why? Because HR is going to be the one doing the best checks. I will report you to HR, but you are
Golly.
HR.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just deep in my soul, just reaching down in there, I think I got to go air hockey. It just reminds
Air
me of
hockey.
so
Okay.
much of my childhood.
Air hockey is fun.
So
we have
we're
our-
split 3 ways.
Our first ever 3-way tie.
And what's the tiebreaker?
But we've already established skee ball is the better option that none of us thought of.
Yeah.
But I feel
Which
like
is probably why we tied, because none of us were winners in that. And that the true winner
the
is skee ball.
The true winner is skee ball.
Yeah,
We can all agree.
yeah.
We need to get skee ball on the ship.
So, like,
Yeah.
listeners, we're sorry that you had to listen to all that ranting for us to realize skee ball was the better choice. Really, this was an exercise in futility. So,
We got there.
on that note, Eric, thank you so much for being
Thank you, Eric.
a
Thank
guest
you.
on our show. We would love to have you back sometime.
It was a pleasure. Whenever, just ask.
Would you like to plug or shout anything out?
I just had a really great Chipotle burrito while I was doing this. So
That's
Excellent.
good. That's
it was
good.
a bowl. I'm sorry, burrito bowl.
Okay. Do you want people to find you? Where people can find you?
No.
No. Fair enough.
Don't find Eric. He's down in that rabbit hole with the rat.
Don't
He's-
find
he's-
Eric.
I'm with the rat. I'm with the rabbit. I'm down there.
But anyway,
Playing pinball.
Playing pinball. Pinball with the rat.
Where you can find them, just listen for the pinball machine.
Oh my God, we gotta end the episode. We
right,
can't keep going. So anyway, I've been your host, Marshall,
Justin,
and we thank you so much. We're gonna go punch the clock and get back to
we
work.
got to get back.
And we'll
Punch
see
that
you
clock.
next time when hopefully we'll have another guest from our office. But as always, punch that clock. That was a really bad sound effect. Y'all didn't do it with me this time.
Oh, should we do it? How'd you do it?
No, see now, don't you feel embarrassed?
I do.
And bye! Please, we gotta end the podcast now. Alright, let's just keep going. But no, for real.